Welcome everybody to yoga practice. I'm Sarah. We're going to begin in a comfortable seat. If it feels okay, you can tuck your feet up underneath you, otherwise sitting cross-legged. Jumping right in, go ahead, rest the hands on the leg. You can close the eyes as we go through the sequence. We're going to start with 5 slow shoulder rolls, drawing them up towards our ear and down the back. And take 5 in total, nice and slow. And as we finish out those 5, we'll take some circles with the elbows, so hands on the shoulders. Same thing, draw 5 circles with the elbows up and back. As you do this, maybe starting to pay attention to the breath, finding everything else slowing down. As you take those 5 with the elbows, then take 5 big circles through the arm, forward, up, back. And once you finish the 5, we're going to start at the beginning and reverse it all. So hands on the legs, start by rolling the shoulders up and forward. Again, 5 times. Those 5 hands, feet, shoulders and elbows draw circles forward. And once you finish the 5 circles with the elbows, 5 with the arms, reaching behind to come forward. And once we finish out that last one, finding both arms reaching towards the ceiling, we'll come up and over to our right side, finding easy side bend. If on top of the heels, you can even let your hips slide off to the left. Get a little deeper stretch. Coming back to the center, and we'll switch up and over to our left side. Heels can stay and hips off to the right. Coming back to the center, we'll come to tabletop. Really spreading all 10 fingers wide and press even more into the finger pads and less into the heels of the palm. Moving through a few rounds of cat and cow. So as we inhale, shoulders down, lifting chin and chest. Taking our exhale and curve, pressing the ground away through the finger pads. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Start to move through this just on your own. Now you can continue to move through just where you were, or bring the hands even further out in front. Start to sink our hips towards the heels. We're going to roll up through our cat back and start to shift forward. Allow your elbows to bend, shoulders down, and we're lifting through our chin, chest, but not dropping into the shoulders. Still pressing down, lifting the hips up to roll back towards child's pose. Again, coming forward, rolling through the spine, rolling the hips up and back. You can start to move through this, kind of like an ocean wave, rolling forward and back. If it feels good to stay forward a little bit, feel free to keep that softness in the elbows. Maybe letting the hips and the head move a little side to side. And finishing out that, finding our way up to our down dogs, and tucking the toes, keeping the hands wide, setting the hips up and back. Takes a moment in the lower body, alternating our heel. And then allowing both heels to lift off our mat, we're gonna twist them towards the right side and press them back down. And as you press, put more weight into your left hand. Setting the heels up, letting them twist and fall towards the left side. Put more weight into your right hand. Heels back up, releasing straight back into our down dog. We're walking the feet up nice and wide outside of the wrist, taking a ragdoll, hanging over. Feel free to grab for opposite elbow. If you want to switch up the hands, maybe even bring them to the low back or just let them rest down towards the floor. And releasing the hands, allow the heels to turn in a little bit and the toes towards the corners of our mat. We're going to start to bend the knees, sinking the hips down towards the heels, whether the heels touch the floor or come off. Sinking the hips out low, finding our way towards a yogi squat. Allowing knees to track over the toes. We'll only stay here for a little bit. Gently starting to stretch out the legs, bringing the feet underneath us. Knees bend, chin to chest, and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Once you come all the way up to stand, just take a moment, roll those shoulders up, back. Pressing straight down into both feet, standing tall. Reach both hands forward. Then an easy twist, we're gonna send that right arm back, keep the hips forward. Unwind that twist, look back to the front. And switch, reach the left arm behind, hips forward. Unwind, square back to the front, reach the arms high, finding our mountain. Bend the elbows, pressing the hips forward, lifting chin and chest. Stretching out the arms and spine, lift. Knees bend, sweep the fingertips back, finding our chair plank. Take the hips low, the fingers long. Release the hands, stretch out the legs, forward fold. Left foot stepping long and back, low lunge. Sweep that right arm high, open arm twist. Releasing that right hand, and then we're just gonna switch. So you can sweep and open the left arm. Release, go ahead, tap that left knee down. Bring the hands up to that right knee. Pull that right hip back. Pressing your chest away from that front leg. Find a little bit of a back bend, softening the hips forward. Release the hands, we're gonna tuck those back toes. Walk the hands and feet to a wide forward fold. Bring the hands up to the shins, lengthen out the spine. Walk the hands a little bit further up the legs. We're just gonna find a halfway point here. Keep a little bend into the knees. Reach the arms out to a T. Hold and breathe. Strong spine is gonna bring us all the way up to stand. Turn those right toes forward, bend that right knee. Find warrior two. Right elbow or reaching a right fingertips down, extending side angle. We'll bring that left hand down, turn that back heel, finding our low lunge. Step back, find high plank. We're gonna chaturanga from knees or toes, elbows in close, come all the way down. Cobra, lifting chin and chest slightly. Release, tabletop or high plank, elbows in close, chest long. Send the hips up and back, down dog. Walking the feet up to our hands, taking our forward fold. Knees bend, chin to chest. Take a little quick roll up through the spine, make sure the shoulders come down. Hands reach forward, sending just your left arm back, hips forward. Unwind that twist and switch, open that right arm. Unwind that twist, reach both arms high. Bend the elbows, hips and chest forward, back bend. Straightening out the arms and legs, reach up, bend the knees, chair plane, sweep back. Hips are low. Release the hands, release the head. Right foot steps long behind, low lunge. Keep the left arm up, open twist. Then release that twist and switch. Open the right hand. Release, bring that right knee down. Hands to that left leg, sitting tall. Left hip back. Hips forward. You can add the chest lifting slightly. Release, tuck the back toes, turning to our wide forward fold. From that wide forward fold, knees soft, hands come to the shins. Lengthen out the spine, hands walk further up to the legs, hold here. Arms reach out to a T, flat, strong back. Coming all the way up to stand, this time left knees and toes point forward, bending that left knee, warrior two. Elbow or fingertips reach down, extending side angle. Right hand comes down, bringing yourselves to our low lunge. Step back, high plank. You can take your cobra or add in your up dog. Knees or toes. Keep the shoulders down as we lift our chest. Finding our way back to our high plank and down dog. Take a full breath. Now we're going to take all that again, but adding on a little bit. So sending our right leg out and up, find a stretch. Draw that knee to our nose. Take that one more time, stretching that right leg. Bring that foot through, taking our low lunge. This time we'll find our high crescent lunge, reaching tall. Reach both arms forward, then sending just that right arm back. Unwind that twist. Then switch, open just that left shoulder. Unwind that twist, reach up, both arms. Now airplane the arms, sweep back, chest forward. Come to high crescent lunge, reach up. Warrior two, heel down, reach out one. Extending side angles, forward and down. Adding on our reverse warrior, so lifting the arms in the chest. Keep that bend into our right knee. Hands cartwheel, front foot, take that low lunge. Step back, high plank. You can hold here or a chaturanga, knees, toes, cobra or up dog. Coming back to our down dog, full breath. Sending our left toes out and up, stretch that leg, bend the knee, come forward to your nose. One more like that, reach the toes up. Coming through, low lunge. High crescent lunge, reach top. Arms forward. Sending that left arm back, take your twist. Reach back to the front. Then just our right arm and shoulder. Come back to the front, reach the arms high. Airplane the arms, sweep behind us, chest forward. Come back to high crescent lunge. Warrior two. Extend side angle, left arm reaching down. Adding our reverse warrior, keep that bend in our left knee, lift the arms in the chest. Hands cartwheel, front foot, take our low lunge. High plank again, you can hold or chaturanga, elbows in close. Cobra or up dog. Our way back to down dog. Adding both of those sequences together. So we'll bring our feet up to our hands, taking our forward fold. From here, knees bend, take your chair plane. Sweep the fingertips behind us, chest lifting. We're gonna reach the arms up, standing tall. Open twist your right arm back. From here, step your left foot back, finding your lunge. Unwind the arms, take your high crescent lunge. Now airplane the arms, sweep behind you. Reaching back up. Now you can just take your arms or to a full balance, airplane, rock forward, float that left leg. If balancing, you're here for 3. We'll take high crescent lunge in 2. And 1. Together, reach both arms high. Warrior 2, press open. Extending side angle. Reverse warrior, lifting that right side. Now listen, standing tall, we'll turn both feet to that side. Arms out wide, we're gonna move through that flat back. Take your time. Arms reach out, top of the head forward. Keep that spine long as much as we can. Then we can release down to that wide forward fold. Start to walk our hands and our toes to the front, finding our low lunge. Maybe adjust the speed, tap that left knee down. Hands up to that right leg, finding our low crescent moon, hips forward. We'll release the hands down and then start to send the hips back, folding and stretching out that right hamstring. Getting our half splits, chest towards that right leg. We'll release that half splits, shifting back forward. We're gonna step the hips up and back right away into our down dog, pressing up and back. From here, bring those feet up to our hands, taking our forward fold. Knees are gonna bend, chair plane, hips low, sweep behind us. Reach the arms forward, standing tall. We're gonna send our left arm back. Now stepping our right foot behind to take our crescent lunge. Unwind the arms, reach up. Airplane the arms, sweep back. Now you can repeat that, reaching the arms high. Just the arms or take it into a balance. Come forward, float that right leg. Chest is long, we're here for 3. We'll take our crescent lunge together in 2. And 1, crescent lunge together. Warrior 2, press and open. Extend side angle, forward and down. Lift up, reverse warrior, arms and chest. Now again, standing tall, turn both feet to the side. Arms out wide, little bend into our knees, top of the head, reaching forward. Take your time as long and flat as you can. Then releasing down to your wide forward fold. Walking the hands to our left foot. Maybe adjust that stance a little bit longer, shorter. Tapping our right knee down, hands up to that left leg. Soften the hips forward. And then hands release, we'll start to send the hips back, folding over that left leg as it stretches out. Half split. From where we are, we're going to shift back forward, step right back into our down dog, sending both hips high, stretching out long. From here, coming to our high plank, we're going to hug the elbows in, come slowly all the way down to our bellies. From here, we're going to bring the arms out to a W shape and see if we can get the elbows to touch to the floor. So our elbows are below our shoulders. Wrists are just slightly above the shoulders. And we're gonna have our nose towards the floor. And we're gonna lift everything together 5 times. So as we inhale, we'll lift. And as we exhale, we lower. So try to use your whole breath. So as we inhale, we're gonna lift everything off, the arms, the legs, lifting the chest. Exhale, lower down. Doesn't matter the height. Take it slow. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, just finding a range of motion. Exhale, lower 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more lift. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to lift and we're going to stay lifted as we continue to breathe. Continue to breathe. Here, lifted for 5, for 4, for 3. We'll release and roll to our backs in 2. And 1. As we slowly release back down, go ahead, just make your way onto your backs. As we come onto our backs, you can bring your knees into your chest. Give a little rocking side to side, maybe draw some circles. And from here, we'll plant our feet to the floor about hip-width distance apart. Knees to the ceiling. We'll bring the hands actually to the thighs. See if we can press the legs away from our chest, finding a little more opening in through that low back. And then go ahead, release. And we're going to add a flowing bridge here. So again, 5 breaths. As we inhale, we're going to lift our hips and let the arms come all the way overhead. And as we exhale, we'll lower the arms and lower the hips. Here we go. So as we inhale, slowly lifting the hips up, arms overhead. Exhaling, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhales to lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhales, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time, flowing through, lifting up. And lower. This time, arms can stay down. We're just going to come up to our bridge, lifting hips up. Think of keeping the inner thighs drawing to each other. You want to interlace the hands. Maybe you start to tuck one shoulder at a time underneath you to add a little extra lift through the sternum. We're breathing here, lift it up for 5. We'll roll back down in 4. In 3. In 2. If the shoulders need to slide out, and then roll down through the vertebrae. At the bottom, just allow knees to windshield wiper side to side gently. And we're going to cross our left ankle over the right side, coming into a figure 4. Legs can stay grounded, or we can draw them up towards our chest. And we're just going to return that right foot to the floor, keeping this figure 4 shape, allowing both legs to fall towards the right side. So our left foot's going to touch towards the floor and allow the knee to point towards the ceiling, and maybe even use a hand. Gently kind of press that leg away, or then let the arms just reach out towards a T shape. Sometimes we start to engage and close off that left side by engaging our glutes and tensing up. See if you can relax the glutes and just allow that left knee to open any amount. From these versions, we can go ahead, gently bring the legs back to the center. And we'll unwind, switching out that figure 4. So right ankle crossing over the left thigh if you need to bring the legs closer to the chest. And again, from where we are, that left foot will tap back down, letting the legs fall to the left side. Now our right foot's touching the floor, gently pressing or opening the knee towards the ceiling. Arms can release out to T. Check in if we're holding and tensing through that right glute and right hip. Gently bringing the legs back to the center. Unwinding, maybe shake out, take a moment, send both legs up towards the ceiling. Give them a moment, maybe roll the ankles. Then you can either just have your knees bent in, or if you need to roll off to one side or rock and roll the length of your spine. We're making our way up to a bound ankle pose. So soles of feet together, knees opening wide. Feel free to have more of a diamond shape rather than heels in close. Just making sure we're sitting up as tall as we can on top of our hips. From here, we're going to bring our right arm out to the side and then bringing it across the body and slide that left arm in front and having our left palm facing us. Notice if the right shoulder creeps up, we're going to try to keep it down. Press that right arm in. If you want to, maybe your head turns towards the right side. Take a couple breaths. And then the head can come through the middle and gently gazing over the left shoulder. Find a few breaths. Coming back to the center, we're going to release and then switch and bring that right hand to our low back, left hand reaching up and back between the shoulder blades. And allow your head to stay tall and lifted. So rather than chin dropping in, keep it lifted, elbows wide. Rather than coming as far forward as we can, take it slow. Try to keep that nice long spine. And think of hinging at our hips in like an ironing board. Top of the head, reaching forward. Only go as far as we can to keep that long, strong back. Elbows wide, shoulders down. And then we can go ahead, slowly release one hand at a time and just gently start to fold over towards the legs. And sitting and walking ourselves back up. This time reaching our left arm straight out to the side first. Arm is straight, bringing it across. Right hand, right arm scoops underneath. As we draw it in close, palm facing us, shoulder down. If we'd like, we can slowly turn the head to the left side first. After finding a few breaths, head moving through the center, over the right shoulder. A few breaths here. Head back to the center as we unwind. Left hand to our low back, reaching the right arm high, just bending the elbows. The fingertips come towards the shoulder blades. Curving not through the upper back, but instead keeping the head lifted and long. Taking our time, noticing if we start to round. Try to keep that flat back. Keeping the hips open and long. Finding our point where we can't go any further. And then we can release the hands one at a time and start to fold. Gently sitting ourselves back up. We're going to stretch out that left leg, hugging our right knee in. We can keep it there, or the foot can come across that left leg, hugging that right knee up and in close. We'll gently twist, gazing over that right shoulder. And gently unwind and counter twist over the left shoulder. And unwinding back to the front, and then let that right foot tap into the inside, knee wide. We're gonna bring our right hand down behind us, reach our left hand forward, rolling forward, lifting our hips off and finding a little back bend, reaching up and back. And then we can allow the hips to just come back down, and you can move through that a couple times, just allowing those hips and pelvis to reach forward as we lift up and back. And release down if you want to just keep moving through that a couple times, or if you want to stay in that back bend. Take about 3 more breaths. And then wherever we are, releasing and having the legs out in front. And we're going to switch out the legs, so left knee in close first. Stay here for your twist, or bring that foot across the right thigh. Knee up and close as we twist over the left shoulder. And we'll unwind and counter twist over the right shoulder. Unwinding back to the front, letting that left foot settle to the inside of the right thigh. Left hand down behind us, we'll reach that right hand forward. We can start to roll and press the hips coming up onto our shin. And again, lowering back down, just kind of finding that movement first. Hips forward, reaching up back. Down again, you can keep moving through that, finding some opening in the hips and the chest. Or you can stay up in that back bend. We're going to take about 3 more breaths. And wherever we are, releasing. We'll gently stretch both legs out in front. Moving into that last posture, so arms reaching high, lengthen the spine, and imagine trying to keep that long back as far as we can. And then we can let the arms release. Gently fold over the leg. We'll close out with about 5 breaths here. Maybe even already have the eyes start to close. As you slowly straighten back up, you can even just keep the legs where they are. Hands can rest on the legs, and you can re-bend the knees in. And just returning back to a comfortable seat, having your eyes closed, taking about 5 breaths. Without any movement, being there, breathing in your own body. That is where I will leave you and take as much time as you need. Stay well. See you next time.